There is nothing sadder to people struggling against oppression in Ireland to look towards Boston City and see our people. We know how they got here. We know the oppression they fled from Ireland in various generations to get to this city, being used to oppress the black people of this city. People tell me I don't understand the situation. They tell me blacks are lazy, they don't want to work, they want to lower the standard of education. In fact, they tell me all the things I was brought up to hear about myself, things Protestant people said about Catholic people in Belfast. And I think that's part of it too. I mean, if they really understood what was happening in Ireland, they would get themselves sorted out and stand on the right side here, because we identify very closely in our struggle for equality and our struggle against oppression. In fact, the whole inspiration of our civil rights movement 10 years ago came from the black movement of America. And it looks to us from where we stand at home that our people are being oppressed with the active assistance of our people. We find that very sad.
I said I'm never coming back again. Next I stepped away from the mirror. I got my mind made up now, cause I can see the future much clearer.
What's happening? This is about America is a country of sellouts. So, and this is kind of inspired. It's inspired by this clip, but it's also inspired by the comment I got on a different video. And when it comes to people who come to America, right? There's a pattern, you know, and also, in America, there's a pattern of people who decide, oh, I'm fleeing from the corruption and the persecution in my home country, and I'm gonna go to America. And I'm gonna go to America, you know, because of oppression, the corruption and the oppression, and yada yada yada. Now, sometimes the United States causes these situations in other countries, and people come here, and sometimes they don't. You know, and sometimes I can also say, like, historically, the U.S. has been making plays in the shadows, in a sense, and causing these issues in other places, and people flee here. But here's the thing: people will come here and then go, "Oh well, I didn't like how I got treated in my home country by this other entity over here, but when I come to America, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna join in with white supremacy and do that to black people." And every group has done it. Every group that has come in this country has done it. And then try to play the game. Oh, we work hard. Oh, I came from nothing and that, and we fled. We fled people doing this to us and that to us. And it's like, really, what you're saying becomes irrelevant, because you fled your home country from persecution or oppression to come to another country to be a persecutor and oppressor, because you didn't want because you wanted to kiss the ring of white supremacy, and who, you know, I, as long as it's not happening to me anymore, I'm good. And the other reason I say sellouts is because you come to America and become a sellout like that, but you also sell out your homeland. You know, that's why pretty much every ethnicity that comes here, when they go back to their homeland, they have a name for them, because they're really not uh, authentically that anymore. You get what I'm saying? It's like, you can come in and come out when it's convenient for you, type of situation. You're not really one of us anymore. Sometimes that's hating, but sometimes it's real. You get what I'm saying? So that's another thing why I say, it's a country full of sellouts. And then, if I can add this part to it. Then you have these people who go, "I'm coming to America just to make money, just to make money. And most of you people don't contribute anything to the United States of America when you quote unquote come here just to make money. And then some of you, and majority of you, they didn't say all of you, the majority of you, you quote unquote come here to make money, and one day you're gonna go back home. But the vast majority of you never go home. You just stay. The vast majority. And from objectively speaking, some of you guys stay because you actually did try to send money back home and invest back home, and the people back home played you. That happens a lot. And then on the other hand, you have people who are just they want to they come off as they're better than their own group of people. Excuse me. Now that I'm here, I'm better than you. And it's like, y'all some sellouts. I got an education, I got a this, I got a that. It's like, eh. And why I say sellouts is because from what I've seen, doesn't look like people come here and find a way to lift somebody up in their own ethnicity or community, like at back home or here. Doesn't look like that. It looks like, hey man, I'm here for me. I'm doing me. It's all about me. You know, so I can get whatever I can get out of America because I guess America is the land of milk and honey, right? And what winds up happening is at some point, all of the selling out and the hypocrisy is going to collide with the reality of what's going on. And what I mean by that is you came here and you became a sellout for white supremacy. With your own group of people at home, you're a sellout to them because you really, you're really not, you really don't do much for them. You really don't care about them like that. So then the reality of it in America hits you when you find out you'll never be fully American and you're no longer whatever ethnicity or nationality you once were, because now now you're just in the middle. And then what winds up happening is some of y'all are looking for an identity, and I hate to there's no other way to say this. When you look to kiss the ring of white supremacy, you down black America. When you find out you've lost your identity in America, you try to emulate black America. And which once again it puts the selling out and the hypocrisy on blast, because now we gotta address you like, hold up. Why are you trying to do what we've done? You supposed to be better than us. We're supposed to be lazy. You're supposed to work harder. You're supposed to be the smarter people. Now when the reality is hitting you, like, you know what, we're gonna have to do what the black people did. But we still gotta say we hate black people. And it's like, you're a sellout. That's why I'm using a lady from Ireland, because the Irish have a history. Hispanics have that same thing. Caribbeans, Africans, Middle Easterners, Asians. It's the same thing. It's the same thing over and over and over and over again. Because like, I ain't from there. I'm from here, and it's like, and then people got to tell you, nah, you really not. You here now, but are you really from here? No. And the reason I say it that way is because um, white people with pretty much all ethnicities and nationality, white people give you a very hard time when you're here, and white people banned you from being here at a time. You get what I'm saying? So when even during Jim Crow and the civil rights, it's like, yeah, hey, you better watch where you at because we're gonna send you back. You know what I mean? Hispanics got excluded, Asians got excluded. It wasn't really no Middle Easterners, of course. Caribbeans they were coming, but not so much. Um, Africans weren't really coming at all. Um, like I said, Muslims, Islam, Middle Eastern, eh, not so much. Like the civil rights movement hit, then people started coming up more frequently. And I say that because you have like people who are, say, certain religions. You come here, excuse me, you in Islam, and you say you don't do this and don't do that. When you come to America, you do all the stuff that you ain't supposed, quote unquote, ain't supposed to be doing. You know, um, you're supposed to have all of these principles. My people have these principles and these morals and these ethics. If we don't do this, you come to America, all of that, you break all of those rules, and then but hide behind the presentation of whatever nationality you are. Like, oh, we're not like that. It's like, cut it out. Y'all are sellouts. Y'all are sellouts. Because the moment you can the moment you can disassociate yourself from your culture, you will. And a lot of times people bring up their culture symbolically. If they get in a high enough position, now you're gonna get all cultural, but you know it happens all the time. You see you see people who are Italian, Spanish, you know, French. I say Spanish, but Hispanic. They don't speak their languages anymore. Their kids don't speak the languages anymore. They don't even know. I don't even know how to do that. It's like, yep, Asian, same thing. I don't know how to speak it, right? But telling, but in America, it's like, oh yeah, we're this and we're that and we're so cultured. And it's like, cut it out. It's all a facade. You're a sellout. This is a country full of sellouts. You know, People do it even in classes. You started in a lower class, you got to the middle, you got to the upper, you sell out. Like, oh, I'm just better than everybody now. And you better even in the people who actually supported you. Not the people who did you wrong. You better than the people who did you wrong, fine. But the people who supported you, I'm too good for you now. You sellouts. That's America. America's a country full of sellouts. And that's why the morals are ephemeral. They just morals and ethics. They just blow with the wind. They're not the principles. They're not really set in anything. You know what I'm saying? It's set in selling out. And like Ted DiBiase, everybody has a price. And sometimes the price of admission is coming to America. The price of admission is whatever you can get out of America. The price of admission is, you know, racism, whatever the price of admission is. But pretty much, if you get to this tax bracket, oh, I'm done with everybody. It's this over and over and again, over and over again. So when I say America is full of sellouts, that's how I see it. So I'm done.